Hey YouTube, it's Jamie. Again, smoking in my carport. Not in my car, but in my carport. It's the weekend, so I'm kind of hanging around at home. Smoking my Mastro de Paya. Look at that dot. And I'm smoking Westminster. Another English, because it's nighttime and I smoke Englishes at night. Westminster is I think it's GLPs. Yeah, GLPs. Uh, Distributed by Cornell and Deal. Sorry I'm so close like this. It was just a matter of sort of like propping up the phone a certain way. Yeah, I feel like we're very close, right? But yeah, I don't know. Like over the weekend, I've had some like deep thoughts, man, about music and stuff. But I've had a very unusual weekend. And, some of the comments, I started to think about the objectivity of truth, beauty, and goodness. These are what Aristotle, I believe it was Aristotle, called the three transcendentals: beauty, truth, and goodness. They were transcendentals in the Platonic sort of sense, meaning the form, capital F, of the good, the form of the beautiful, and the form of the true. Plato said that there was a capital I idea of these things: the beautiful, the true, and the good. And that these three transcendentals found their manifestation in the sublunary sphere, the sphere below the moon where we live. So we have an objective idea of what is true, what is beautiful, and what is good. This is probably the most important philosophical conversation you can have when you're considering the three transcendentals: the beautiful, the true, and the good. Think about those three words. How do we judge what is beautiful, what is true, and what is good? Maybe we should take them piece by piece. Let's do the beautiful, because we've talked about that recently. Like in terms of music, but it's also in terms of the visual arts, of the cinema, of literature, of music. What is beautiful? How do we know something to be beautiful? How do we know a work of art to be beautiful? Is it subjective? Is beauty merely in the eye of the beholder? I don't agree. I don't believe that. Beauty is not merely in the eye of the beholder. There are objective criteria by which we judge the beautiful. It's a little windy out here. We judge the beautiful by ratio, proportion, symmetry, balance, harmony, rhythm. That's clear, right? We could tell what's beautiful because it sort of submits itself to the the golden mean, let's say. What is that, 1.618, etc.? I forget the ratio. There's a certain ratio. There's a certain number. Like when you get a business card, for example, a business card is meant to be satisfying, and it's satisfying because it conforms to a certain shape. Look at the shape of a business card. Look at this square that I'm making on the screen. Can you imagine? There's a certain rectangle that sort of confines itself to these classically beautiful dimensions. What about the true? How do we know what is true? Particularly today, right? Some people say we live in a post-truth society, a post-true paradigm. That truth is subjective somehow. That nothing can be true, and it's merely the, somebody's individual notion of truth. Does the truth merely confine itself to collective experience? What about the good? When we talk about the good, of course, we're talking about ethics and morals. Morals and ethics. We know that, let's say if you're a Christian, there is a certain sort of quality. There are certain criteria by which something is judged to be good. What is good? Is it good for the most amount of people? Does it do the most good for the most amount of people? Is it subjectively good for the individual? Or is it universally good? I think these are the three biggest questions we could ask ourselves. What is true? What is beautiful? And what is good? Of course, truth. How do we judge truth? We judge truth by epistemology, what we can know. Epistemology means what the study, the science of what we can know for sure. What can we know, and how do we know it? Do we know it merely by means of the senses, by the apprehension of the senses in the world? Do I know it because I can touch it? Do I know it because I've seen it before, that I can hear it? Think about these things, right? The true, the beautiful, and the good. The three transcendentals. Arguably the most important things we could consider philosophically, right? Now, I know that I've been in a crazy mood this weekend. Maybe, you saw my other video. But I think if you're going to be obsessed about something, why not be obsessed about the three most important questions, according to Plato and Aristotle, that one can ask oneself? I'd love to hear about it in the comments, rather. This bowl's about sort of cached. But yeah, what is truth? What is beauty? What is good? Talk to you later.